march one step ahead of the criminals. So when the technology is rapidly evolving and changing, we have to learn to keep pace with that technology. Now, what are the measures? Some measures have already been taken by Government of India. We hear about Computer Emergency Response Team. We hear about National Cyber Security Policy. We hear about the National Cyber Coordination Center, about the Botnet Cleaning and Malware Analysis Center, about the National Technical Research Organization, about the National Institute of Cryptology Research and Development. All these measures have been taken by Government of India. But the question is, where do we stand now? Many of these things have yet to bear fruit. We are yet to get on top of the game. We have a lot of mile to cover before we get on top of the game. So what are some of the measures that I would suggest? The first thing that I would suggest is a comprehensive cyber security policy that Government of India can work out in consultation with states. The second I would suggest is close coordination with the law enforcement agencies. Unless we do that, we are not going to achieve the results that we want. Third is we have to create a go-to place. If anything happens, if any cybercrime happens, where does a person go, whether it is in the private sector or in the government? So we need to have some kind of a computer incidents response team and build a center of excellence around it, build a cyber security center of excellence in the state, so that whether it is government, whether it is critical infrastructure, whether it is private sector, whether it is a member of a public, he can all go. And that will be the go-to place for any kind of cyber incident. Since we cannot always think that we have achieved the security envelope that we want, we have to continuously test our systems, put them under stress and see how they respond. So we have to have cyber warriors, and we have to have a cyber range where these things can be perfected. Attacks can be perfected, how to defend yourself can be perfected. Maybe we can build a simulator also. We also need to have a repository of threats. What are the threats? Can we build a cyber threat intelligence center, for example? So that we have all the threats, we make a repository of the threats. If anyone has anything, we straight away know that this is of this kind. It will always help an individual or an organization. Similarly, in coordination with the law enforcement agencies, we can keep a tab on dark web and deep web, from where many of these threats originate. Then, of course, we can think about incubation centers for cyber security technologies and startups. Unless we encourage that, we will not set in motion a series of steps required to combat cybercrime and get on top of the crime. Then, of course, in this age of internet usage and huge data, we have to catch the people young. In schools and colleges, if we build cyber security learning centers, or somehow involve the youth in startups, or work with the higher education department to see how it can be spread, the awareness can be spread, it will go a long way in creating knowledge when the people are young. With these words, and I wish the conference a success, and I thank all of you once again. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Talin Kumar. A go-to number, maybe 100 number for cyber crimes. Cyber range, cyber warriors, awareness. We need all this to fight the cyber warfare that we are all facing today. Going to the keynote address, we can't be more lucky than to get it from Dr. Gulshan Rai. Dr. Gulshan Rai at present is a National Cyber Security Coordinator, Government of India, in the Office of PMO. Sir, thank you for coming, making it. May I request Dr. Gulshan Rai to make the keynote address, please.
Mr. Talin Kumar, Principal Secretary, West Bengal Government. Mr. Amrish Das Gupta, the President of the Bengal Chamber of Commerce. Mr. Arnab Basu, Mr. Sanjay Sen, Atul Kumar, Colonel Nath Raghu, and friends. Good morning to all of you. I am really delighted to be here to talk on the subject which is gaining so important that every head of the state when comes to India, or our head of the state when goes to out of the India, this is one of the subject among many, and this is also talked at the same par with the when you talk about nuclear or strategic issues. So I am grateful to Bengal Chamber of Commerce, particularly Amrish and his colleagues for inviting me and giving me an opportunity to interact with you on this subject. Thanks very much. Friends, I was very keenly listening Mr. Talin Kumar's address. I thought that my presentation, rightly so, they have put it afterwards, because we all talk about cyber threats and cyber threats. I don't know how many of us understand really the cyber threats. Some of them maybe appear to be very common, some of them maybe appear to be very frightening. If the time permits, how much time organizer permits, I can really shake you up by giving few incidents which happened in the last couple of months. Really shake you up. Some of the incidents happened only few hundred kilometers from Kolkata, and some of the incidents happened little far away from Kolkata in the country. Some of the incidents happened out of the country. Friends, we are in the middle of digital revolution, and as the time goes on, this strength of the digital revolution, spread of digital revolution will rise and spread out. There was a cartoon in the media about a couple of years ago, 3.5 years ago, where a child standing before the grandfather and asked him, when did the digital revolution started? The grandfather said, it started when I was at your age. And the grandchild was not willing to believe. Yes, digital revolution started when we started counting 1, 2, 3. That's the digital part of it. The teacher told us right in the first class, there used to be slate and there used to be balls. Put 1, 2 balls, move up and down. That also was a digital revolution. But today digital revolution is much different than what the grandfather had witnessed when he was child. The digital economy in the country accounts for almost 48%. And in the next couple of years, these 48% will go more than 90%, and this is not far away by 2020. If you look at it, the spread of the digital economy, the present contribution of internet economy to GDP is 1.7% in 2015, and we expect to rise to 3.3% in 2018. And IT contribution is slightly different than the internet economy, is 9.5% of the GDP. More than $150 billion is the size of the IT industry in the country. We have more than 1 billion phones. A country with a population of 1.22 billion people, you have a population of phones more than 1 billion phones. We are the second largest country when we talk about the internet users in the world. The first is China. And of course, my friend Jonathan will bear with me. We have crossed America when we talk about the internet users. We are the second largest country in the world having internet users. And why I have given the figure for the G20 or G7? We are inching towards those G20 countries, both in terms of penetration of IT and penetration of the size of the internet economy when we look at the total GDP or the IT as a percent of a GDP. That's what we are inching towards. And Tallinn was perfectly all right when he was talking about the issues. Now, but if you look at the history, how did this economy has happened? What has contributed in the last couple of years? Precisely, we talk about 1990 onward. These 25 years, what has contribution that suddenly we have gone up and everybody is talking about IT? These are the 5 technologies which has made a big difference, and these are the 5 technologies which are going to make a big difference when the time to come. And that's what Mr. Tallinn Kumar was talking about. 1990, when we had a WWW, World Wide Web, who could imagine the impact of World Wide Web, which has come up today, which we have seen today, and we really don't know what impact will be there in time to come. Forget about 10 years, we can't say about 5 years. In 1993, we had only 190 websites, and today there are about more than 1 billion websites, and those websites are not simple websites which you see. You are transacting on the stock exchange, you are booking a ticket, you are doing e-commerce. Then e-commerce size of in the country itself is about a $50 billion. That's the size we are talking about. Then came the search engine. Microsoft used to rule the entire IT world, and suddenly Microsoft started feeling shaky because the Google has appeared on the scene. We used to hear Google, and everybody used to say Microsoft is little worried, but we never realized the impact of the search engine which they came up around that time. Everyone, to look at the application of a Google, everything we want to do, we look at the search engine and start searching it out. Even if I have to go from here to Ulta Danga, I'll start put a Ulta Danga, the premises where I have to go and put it, and it bangs on, he drops me at the same site, same premises. Application of search engine. Then came the mobile. We used to pay 40 rupees a call. Making a call and return incoming call also used to cost. Today, we are paying 1 rupee a call is a all India call. I am sure Mr. Telin Kumar, when he was in Delhi, he must be having a Delhi number. When he shifted to Kolkata, he wouldn't have changed his number. This is the scenario we're talking about mobile, and now WhatsApp coming up on the mobile. No one wants to use the SMS. Everyone wants to communicate, whether you want to communicate the messages, doctor prescription, anywhere in the world. When we go abroad, government officers go abroad, the government gives us 500 rupees per day for making a call. But most of the time, the officer is not able to make use of 500 rupees because he carries his mobile phone, he works on a Wi-Fi, and everyone makes a call on a Google or a call on a WhatsApp. Or you carry the Apple phone, and you make a FaceTime with your family or with your friends. The next technology, which is the virtual reality. Mr. Telin Kumar talked about the cloud computing. Virtualization has really made a big impact and is going to make a big impact in the time to come. Why I am counting, which each one of has his own positive merits and demerits there. I was in US about a year ago, and I went to the Intel office, and someone was talking about it. They made a presentation that the Intel is now going and buying the textile companies there. And I was quite surprised that Intel is a semiconductor company and trying to buy the textile companies. I was told that they are developing a fiber which when you wear, it will full network. The whole thing you are in communicating, you are in a network always there. That's a trend which is going on. And these are the technologies which uses predominantly the software part. Yes, hardware is there, but hardware is used by the software, is the innovation in the software which is driving the innovation in the hardware, and that leads to advantages, that leads to the issues for which this seminar is also has been conducted. Friends, every software is a list of instructions. By making one change in the list of instruction, you can make the device to function in a manner different than what it intended to be. You change the entire functions of the device by changing the software. And that is precisely the issue with which we are grappling today, and the things have become very, very complex. I'll give you specific cases. I said that some of the cases, one of the two cases which I am going to deal with you, if the time permits, very frightening cases. You will see the consequences why everyone is talking about the cyber security. We used to hear about a hacking. Someone hacks in a website, static website, and put a message, the Pakistani message or some message like that. Gone are those days. Today, the things are more complex. Every incident is a computer warfare incident there. I'll give you a very simple case, which I'll deal with you. I'll deal with you one very simple case, and you can see what impact. Can you tell me which website this is? Beg your pardon? No? This is a DD Bharti. This is a DD Bharti website, and this incident was reported about a month ago. Now DD Bharati website is displaying the DD news, all important messages. Our Honorable Prime Minister is there. It was putting up the advertisement for recruiting people. Everything you want to see, you can see there. One may look to be a case of a simple website. One may look to be a case of a crime, only a cyber crime. One may look to be a case of a cyber warfare. This one simple case, this is a genuine, real case about a month ago. It reflects how complex we are moving when we are moving towards the IT. That's why I talk about how directions of IT and what impact it will come up. If you go back and see, when you go back to your office or home, you can see the DD Bharati website. This is actually not a website of a DD Bharati. I wish I could have a laser pointer. I can tell you what are the problems here. DD Bharati website address is ddbharati.in. This website address is ddbharati.com. Someone has put up a phishing website in the name of DD Bharati, created the phishing websites, and he's putting the news. He's trying to impersonate that this is an authenticated site of a DD Bharati, where it is not. He planned out very well, created a ddbharati.in, he can't create because nobody will give him that registration. He created a ddbharati.com, and you can get registration of the website very easily. This is a private entrepreneur. He has put a disclaimer also that he has nothing to do with the Prasar Bharati. But who looks at all those minute detail? Nobody understands .in, .com. And nobody understands whether it is under the Prasar Bharati or not Prasar Bharati. DD Bharati is under the Prasar Bharati. What is he doing? He is giving the news, trying to be as true as DD Bharati.in. He is putting advertisement, asking people to apply for recruitment. He collects payment and makes the money. He gets the advertisement in the name of DD Bharati, collects the revenue. That's an innovative model. And whatever data he collects it, he may sell it also there. But if you really look at it, what is he doing? He is doing a crime in all possible manner. First of all, he is trying to impersonate DD Bharati. Again, it could be a matter of legal issue, ddbharati.in or ddbharati.com, whether it's impersonating or not impersonating. But if you make the site look similar, there could be an element of a crime. In the name of DD Bharati, he is trying to collect the revenues, advertisements and earning revenue. This is the innovative model. He is luring the people to apply for the employment and collecting money. God knows what he is doing with that money. Maybe opening the account, closing the account, and all kind of thing must be happening there. More than that, this site has been hiding a Trojan called a virus. You can simply call a virus. Today we call a malware, a software script, which one downloads into the computer system. Your computer system gets compromised and it gets in the hand of a hacker remotely, and he takes out all your data. Every data is taken out. If your computer is having mobile phone, computer, anything, if you are having the passwords or PIN numbers or credit card number, everything will be taken out. So this is a very simple case of a website, appear to be website, but it is a warfare. And these cases are happening regularly. Mr. Telin Kumar talked about the number of cases, quoted cases. Many of those cases are like that. He did say that things are becoming complex. Now let me move on to another case which happened a few hundred kilometers from this place. On 4th and 5th February 2016, there was an attempt to transfer $101 million from a account of the Central Bank of Bangladesh maintained at New York. Out of $101 million, $81 million were transferred. The last in a installment of $20 million, the last installment, the fourth installment, could not be transferred because of certain, one of the bank which was transferring the money involved, Dutch bank, they found certain anomaly and they stopped it. They raised an alarm with the Central Bank of Bangladesh in Dhaka. The bank could not respond for 3 days. Ultimately, the Dutch bank decided to cancel the transfer, and that's why the $20 million could be saved. There was an attempt to transfer another $35 million. Because of the vigilant nature of the Dutch bank, that money could not be transferred because they had already stopped $20 million. There was another case in Ukraine on 3rd December 2015. Suddenly at around 4 o'clock, 250,000 homes went without electricity. And it took almost a couple of hours, 7 hours, to restore part of the electricity, and it took almost 6 months, costing $5 million to make the entire thing recover from the cyber attack there. These are the cases which worries the government. These are the cases which worries all of us. What will happen? Both the operations and all the three operations which I mentioned has been going on for 6 months together. Someone is on the job doing recce, trying to understand the issues there. He knew what software, what hardware installed, how one is operating the system, and carried out the task, bringing huge loss either in cash or in a kind, but ultimately it costed the money to the organizations. Imagine a system where you have a physical attack on your country, and someone is trying to fire a missile, and every missile has to be fired. There has to be a battery, some power pack has to be there, and power pack will have certain software, and the software is breached. Missile going in other country, enemy country, it may land in your places there. And imagine the cases which when I came here, I was talking to the official who received me here. He said everyone is talking about cyber. And it's infecting, he talked about the Chinese hackers also. Imagine, and this is particularly true in West Bengal, the cases of your pacemakers are very high in West Bengal as compared to any other part of the country. Every pacemaker works on a clock because it's a pulse, it has to put the pulse there. And the pulse is to be driven by a software. If some hackers hack into the pacemaker, disturb the clock, the man will die, the person will die immediately because the clock will disturb, entire thing will get disturbed. That's why I said these are frightening, but these are true cases there. And this is what we need to prepare. The question we have to ask, are we prepared? I often ask Raghu, are you prepared? Because he's controlling the 80% or 82% of the banking industry. Raghu, am I right or wrong? Are we prepared? Can we say our banks, can we ask Raghu whether our financial system will not succumb to the case or will not have a case like a Bangladesh?